Hey there, Laurel here. Welcome to another Simply Card Making video. Today, I'm going to get you hungry for some Krispy Kreme donuts. I love me some Krispy Kreme donuts because I'm making this card. Love donuts, and the Ton has released, they just finished up a new release, and they've got some really fun donut stamp sets. This is one of them, a background, big rubber background, 6x6, I believe, of all these donuts. A whole line. Well, I'll show you a couple of them in this video today. So I went ahead and inked up that donut background stamp with some Versamark ink, and then I am sprinkling on some clear embossing powder. I'm going to end up ironing this away, so that's why I used clear. And I am working off of watercolor cardstock because I'm going to color this cardstock here in just a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and melt all that embossing powder, and I'm going to get all these yummy, delicious donuts. I swear making this card made me hungry. I love starting with white cardstock. Pretty much all of my cards that you see always start with white. And then I like adding color to them and make my own. I just think it's so much fun. So this is Distress Paint in the color Cracked Pistachio. I'm just, you can see, swiping it on my card base. Now any of that embossing is going to resist any ink that we put down. I'm going to go in and add a little bit of Mowed Lawn, but I had some problems with my Mowed Lawn coming out of that dabber there, so I didn't really get any Mowed Lawn on there, so you can probably just forget that whole step. So I'm going to keep going in and adding Cracked Pistachio until I get, the background that I'm looking for here. I just really felt like going with this green and teal color scheme today. Those are some of my favorite colors, and when you combine it with donuts, I mean, hello, that's golden. I love me some donuts. But Krispy Kreme, I'm not too much a fan of Dunkin', I gotta say, but I do like the Dunkin' Donuts coffee. So there you go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and dry my Distress Paint here. I'm going around the edges with my Lucky Clover Distress Ink. This is one of the newer colors. I guess it released around St. Patrick's Day, right? I don't know. But I'm going to go around the edges here, add a little bit more definition. I'm going to go ahead and they have a line of double stitched dies. I'm going to take the rectangle one and go ahead and run that through my die cutting machine. So I'm going to end up going around the edges again with the Lucky Clover Distress Ink. This was kind of an afterthought to use this die here. But they've got squares, circles, rectangles, obviously. You might want to check it out if you're in the market for this. All right, so we're just going to go around the edge one more time, make sure I got a nice, I want it kind of darker on the edges and lighter on the inside. Now it's time to iron off that embossing powder. So I've got a piece of hardy board and a piece of typing paper. I've got my iron set on cotton. This is actually, I don't iron except on my cards. Ugh, I know my husband's so upset, but I don't domesticatedly, no. That's not a word, but I don't iron my clothes. I put them in the dryer. But I do iron off embossing powders on my card, and you can see all that shine that would have been there from the embossing powder is gone. So it might look like I hand drew in all them donuts. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I'm going to ink up that same background stamp, and this is a teal card base here, and I'm going to press my card base here. This is going to be a little bit of the donuts are going to be peeking through at the end of the card. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up that with some Versamark, sprinkle on some clear embossing powder and heat set, but this time I'm not going to iron it off this layer. This layer I wanted the shine from the embossing powder, but the panel there that we painted on with that Cracked Pistachio, I didn't want any shine. So it's really fun, very easy to do. My iron I got off of Amazon for, I don't know, 10 bucks or so. No big deal, because like I said, I don't iron clothes. So that's some Spun Sugar Distress Paint. I wanted a little bit of pink in this card too, so I went ahead and kind of went around the edges of that white card panel with the Spun Sugar. I'm going to zap it with my heat tool real quick. And then I'm going to take that little donut panel there, and I'm going to adhere that right down over the pink card set. See what I mean? I always start with white. I don't know why. I just do, except for the card bases. All right, so then I'm going to take that panel and adhere that right down over that card base there with the shiny donuts. So I've got donuts, donuts, donuts. But this is a calorie-free version. You know what I'm saying? All right, here's one of the label sets I was telling you about. She introduced a label line. So the little black label set is called Let's Mingle Labels. And then she's got another donut set that's a clear set, which you can see peeking up there on the top right. That is called Donut Bars. So I'm going to take the Love You More Than sentiment from the Donut Bar clear set. And then I'm going to take the donuts sentiment from the Let's Mingle Labels stamp set and combine them together. I love the look of those Dymo labels. That's just absolutely so popular. And I just love the look of white on black. So I'm going to combine those two together. I did a couple of test stamps on some scratch paper because I had never used that label set before. It's always good to kind of practice stamping with your clear stamps to condition them in before taking them to your project. So I've gone ahead and stamped the Love You More Than right onto that card base there. Now remember, we ironed off that embossing away. If that embossing powder was still there on those donuts, I wouldn't have been able to stamp that sentiment over the embossing powder. It would have resisted it. So that was another reason why I ironed off that embossing powder. In addition to, I didn't want the shine there. And then I popped up the donuts there with some foam dimensional tape. Isn't that cute? And that's it. I mean, seriously, donuts, calorie free. This is great. All right, so thanks so much for joining me today. I'll be back next time with another video.